Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another YouTube video here on the channel. Today we're going to be looking at what happened when I spent 3 months grinding a new streaming platform called Trovo. We'll take a look at the platform itself, its features, my channel, the elusive Trovo 500 program, my stats, whether or not I'd recommend you streaming over there, and finally we'll talk about why I'm no longer over there and now streaming exclusively on YouTube. On that note, if you find this video in any way informative or just enjoy being here, please do hit that like button and subscribe with those notifications on so you don't miss any future uploads. With that said, on to the video. What is Trovo? Trovo is an interactive streaming platform for gamers and the things we love. It is a unique platform to watch and chat with other fans from around the world. Trovo is where players, gamers, viewers, and streamers get to know each other in new ways. Now, its interface is incredibly similar to Twitch, so much so I regularly had people in chat that were new to the platform joking that it was literally a copy and paste of Twitch with a different color scheme. One of the things I enjoyed most about Trovo was its very Mixer-like mana and elixir system. These are in-stream currencies that you can either earn over time or people could pay money for, just like bits on Twitch, and donate to the streamer by way of animated gifts. What I would say is that the site itself feels a lot more streamlined than Twitch to begin with. Everything feels much quicker and snappier, and none of the streams have adverts. What I did start to notice as time went on and as I was trying to grow was that Trovo constantly promote the same streamers on their homepage. After a couple of weeks, you'll notice the same people up there time and time again, which starts to grind on you until Trovo advertised a new boost event that simply meant if you could earn enough mana or elixir, you'd be able to boost onto the front page. The community thought this was a great idea until you used the boost and you got added to the smallest list of streamers on the bottom left hand corner of the page and not anywhere prominent. So that was pretty frustrating. Onto my channel. I started my channel on the 28th of June 2020. I signed up and went live the same day. I noticed quite quickly that there are a lot of features missing from the site, such as being able to clip your stream, VODs, default chat commands, and a chat bot. Since I started streaming, VODs and clipping have been added, but neither are that intuitive to use, especially the clipping feature that certainly needs some work. Here are the stats for my first stream. I'm quite lucky to have a couple of thousand followers on Twitter and built a small community over on Twitch prior to starting on Trovo. So I had a bunch of people that were curious to come and see what I was doing, hence the spike in followers from day one. I remember thinking that these stats were slightly higher than my Twitch stats, but they were definitely inflated as I'm sure more people were just curious about the platform than just wanted to watch my stream. Feel free to pause the video here or at any other point when the stats come on screen if you're interested in reading through them all. Let's look at the Trovo 500, which is almost definitely why 90% of people are streaming over on Trovo, although many won't admit it. The Trovo 500 is Trovo's main monetization program. They award those that they somehow deem one of the top 500 streamers on the platform a rank and a wad of cash. Once awarded a place in the Trovo 500, you must hit the targets set out for the following month, otherwise you won't get a full payout and you risk losing your Trovo 500 status. This sounds great for small streamers, and I've had loads of people say, isn't Trovo really good for small streamers because of this program? Well, on the surface, it does sound really good. However, the main issue for me is that the only real target you have to hit isn't apparent at the start of each month. You only get told the goal just over halfway through the month, and if the goal is increased, which it did every month that I was going for Trovo 500, you do not know how much it's increased by until somewhere around the 18th of the month. Which, if you think about it, is absolutely nuts. Imagine getting a personal trainer and being told, I want you to run a fair distance this month. So off you trot, jogging away to your heart's content. Maybe you've jogged 1 mile a day this month so far, which has really stretched you, but you're proud of what you've achieved. Then the trainer comes along almost 3 weeks into the month and says, oh, by the way, the target that I didn't tell you at the start of the month is for a much higher figure than you expected. So now you're going to have to literally double how far you run every day for the rest of the month just to scrape that target. You'd be absolutely screwed. I can't remember which, but for one of the months during my time on Trovo, I think it was the gold tier had increased by 1,000 hours, which in itself is huge over a 30-day month. Imagine being told that with only 12 days of the month to go. Absolute madness. That brings us nicely onto the reason for the increase, which Trovo put down to platform growth. Now, bear in mind that some of the biggest streamers on Trovo aren't exclusively Trovo streamers. The majority of them have literally tens of thousands and sometimes millions of followers on other platforms. These guys pull a portion of their audience across from other platforms and hit the top tier of Trovo 500 without even breaking a sweat. But month on month, they pull more and more across, and more big people come across to the platform because they see they can make a decent amount of money from literally just sticking a new stream key in and multi-streaming to Trovo alongside another platform. Now, this may sound like I'm being salty towards those huge guys. Let me be absolutely clear, I'm definitely not. If I were their size, I would be doing exactly the same thing to secure the bag from Trovo. However, where this becomes a problem is where the stream hours the smaller streamers need to hit increase based on the performance of the site and therefore the performance of these massive guys. The simple solution to this is for the Trovo 500 to be restricted to people that don't have tens of thousands of followers elsewhere, and for those guys to be offered a proper Twitch-style partnership deal with Trovo. Until something like this happens, Trovo is moving further and further away from being a platform for small creators, and more into the realms of being a platform for big creators to secure an easy paycheck. Let's check out the Trovo 500 requirements for the months I was streaming on Trovo. So we have the July requirements. So at the base tier, you had to stream at least 8 times that month for a minimum of 1 hour per stream. At the lowest level, Silver, you had to hit 800 watch hours as a minimum to be eligible for the Trovo 500 program. In August, the watch hours target jumped to 950 hours with an additional 2 stream days, and remained at 950 hours for September. And then for reference, the month after I stopped streaming on Trovo, the program required 1200 hours for the month of October. Now, there are definitely a bunch of hidden measures and stuff that Trovo look into, but none of this is transparent, so nobody has a clue what stats they look into during their decision-making process other than watch hours. Let's take a look at my stream stats and see how they compared. Here are my stats for July. As you can see, we hit just over 1,000 hours in July, which is 200 more than the target for the Trovo 500 program. I figured that because I was the new guy and I would probably need to increase the number of followers a bit or get my average chatters up or something like that, we didn't get it, so we went again in August. Here's how my August stats look. Weirdly, the watch hours remained the same as they did the month before at just over 1,000, which is 50 hours above the target for the Trovo 500 program. My other stats were massively up. Higher average viewers, higher chatters, a much higher peak in viewership. Things were looking good. Unfortunately, we didn't make it again this month. I actually reached out to one of the Trovo admins for feedback, who was kind enough to reply with this. Hey Griff, you'll be able to see the cutoff line for the watch hours by tiers in the announcements channel later this week, which is their Discord channel. You are almost there, so I do agree you're doing a great job. Just keep up the pace and hope to see you there in the October list. So this was it. I was going to grind super hard this month and hit the Trovo 500. Here are my stats from September. As you can see, we upped the pace significantly. We hit 1,400 watch hours, which was 450 more hours than the target for September. And all my other stats were up. What's super interesting about these stats is the effective watch time. This is something that Trovo added in September, which claims that almost 600 of my watch hours didn't count for whatever reason. It was supposed to identify hours generated from people using bots or external tools to gain viewers, but there were a bunch of issues with the calculation. It caused a lot of confusion in the Trovo Discord and was sometimes blatantly wrong. For example, one of my streams shows us having more effective watch hours than actual normal hours, which doesn't make any sense at all. Needless to say, we didn't make it again this month. Now, what's really weird about this month in particular was that I have friends on the platform that did make partner. For example, one of which had the same watch hours as me, but streamed for 2 full days longer, therefore had a much lower average viewership. They made partner and I didn't. So there must have been some other selection criteria in there somewhere that we didn't know about. So here we are, 3 months in, 96 individual streams, 500 followers, nearly 30 subscribers, 4,014 hours watch time, but no Trovo 500 badge. So finally, let's talk about whether I'd recommend you guys streaming on Trovo, and I can wrap my reasons for the move to YouTube into this section. I guess there are 2 types of content creator out there, the ones that don't want to make any money and the ones that do. For those that don't want to make money, you can quite quickly become a decent sized fish in a tiny pond on Trovo, assuming your content is of a good quality. Growth is fast, but be careful you're not being baited into the follow mentality, which I've found to be quite common on the platform, and are building an actual community of people that want to watch you for you. For those that do want to make money, there is still a lot of unknowns surrounding Trovo. For example, the Trovo 500 program only runs for another year or so. Nobody actually knows what happens after that. At the minute, the program just stops and the money stops with it. What happens? Will Trovo just become another mixer and disappear off the face of the earth, or will something new, like a Twitch-style partnership program, take its place? Only time will tell, but it is quite a big risk for any creator looking to make money long-term, as there's no longevity on the platform at the minute. You also risk losing your money month to month. Say you give it everything you have 1 month to hit the goals, but then the watch target just gets increased again the next month and you literally cannot hit them. You'll only get a portion of your paycheck and will likely lose your Trovo 500 status, and there goes your main revenue stream from Trovo. Of course, like any other platform, you can get subs, donations and bits. And right now, I'd just like to take a second to thank everybody that's subscribed, donated, dropped mana elixir, or simply been active in chat whilst I've been on Trovo. I truly appreciate your support and hope you guys will come and join me over on YouTube. But as with this kind of revenue on any platform, it can be really good 1 month and not so great the next month, so you really can't rely on it. I guess the biggest, final and most important thing I need to stress to you guys above anything else is that Trovo as a platform care only about your hours and not about you as a streamer. I asked in Discord a while back something along the lines of, there are 2 streamers, one that streams 3 times a week and averages 25 viewers for 3 hours, and another that streams every single day for 12 hours a day, but to only 3 people. Who should get partnered? The obvious choice is the first streamer, pulling in a good viewership and likely has a much more engaged audience. However, Trovo would currently throw money at the person streaming 12 hours a day to 3 people, as their watch hours are going to be much higher than the person streaming to 25, which in my opinion is nuts. But what all of the watch hour stuff leads to is people trying desperately to hit this made up watch hour target by any means necessary. One of the scariest things is to watch the number of people pulling 24-hour streams at the end of every month just to hit this watch hour target, only to not quite make it into the program. The toll this must take on the streamer's health, both physically and mentally, their home life, their family time, etc., must be absolutely huge. Just be aware of that one, guys. It's okay to not hit targets. If you've got a great community but you're not able to commit to Trovo's ever-increasing watch hour requirement, that is absolutely fine. My advice would be to take your community to somewhere like Twitch or come across to YouTube, where monetization is clearly laid out and the boundaries don't move on a monthly basis. That's about it for this video, guys. I'd just like to say a massive thank you once again to everybody that's supported me so far on Trovo. I'll still stream there every now and again, but I'll be maining YouTube going forwards. With that said, please let me know what your experience of Trovo is in the comments below. Please do hit that like button and be sure to subscribe with those notifications on. And hopefully I'll see you guys in a YouTube live stream real soon.